Hi, I'm David, and I'm David Garcia. I'm going to be presenting my advocacy project on senior citizens, and I will be talking about the spread of awareness I would like to give to people to my audience about senior citizens and the need that we need to have for volunteer help and support that they um have offers out there and stuff. And I hope at the end of this presentation you'll be able to spread information to my audience about senior citizens and more of the situation where they come from and more of like um, a personal experience to how um, senior citizens are able to receive more help from us and stuff. Either students from Run Start or even adults as well. And I hope that together we are able to, use our fruitful and young lives now so that we are able to assist our senior citizens who are not able to do as much um, by themselves. Now, according to a scholar's article by the Ivy League, Harvard University, it has become public information that baby boomers, ranging from 65 to 70 years old, will experience a massive um, population drop um, by 2.5 million by the year by 2024, which is alarming to say the least, to recognize a study in this knowledge and from Harvard. Now, as I said, I don't mean this in a way to guilt anyone to um, try to do any volunteer work. I'm merely saying the facts as I call to action to make sure that people are able to understand how senior citizens are not going to live for a long time, and there will be a large portion of people that are going to pass off, which is very sad. And also, we also lose many things as well. So just stories being told um, that will never be told ever again. Either it was a time of personal struggle, a time of war, or even something minor that some of us may even relate to even now. But one thing is true: these people, who no matter who or what they were, are now senior citizens, and they still play a vital role in our modern day lives and communities across the United States. As for myself in my presentation, I was able to learn much about the topic until very recently when I was able to volunteer and communicate at the Franklin Retirement Home back in 2021, and risk again to check up again for my advocacy project in 2023. The well-being and life of a senior citizens are a critical issue that require attention, and at this age and population continues, our understanding and question efforts will be even worse if this is to not. Together, we are able to create a helpful environment that will lead them to their last dignified lives that can last. And while this isn't our moral or legal obligation, I would like to think this as an opportunity for us to recognize the stories that will not be lost. Now, to go over like quickly about my time working at Franklin Place, it was during the epidemic back in 2020 when I didn't have much to do until I learned about this place in Sumner, which was pretty interesting to learn about actually. But the main takeaway from here is that I actually didn't work in 2020. I had interest in 2020, and in the middle of 2021, I did um, apply to work here and got some help as well from my family's support center to help to allow me to work there as well. And I was able to learn more about the loneliness stuff it's felt over there, and I feel like the impact that even the senior citizens that there felt was also long-standing and horrible as well. As stated by the American Association for General Psychiatry, uh, meta-analysis have found that social isolation or loneliness in older adults is associated with a 50% increased risk of dementia and a case and 30% increased risk of incident coronary artery disease or stroke, and 26% increase of all cause of all cause mortality. To the uninformed, these senior citizens are kicking yet, but yet they are still not null to human emotions. They can still feel like day-to-day emotions, like I don't know, like forms of struggle or forms of anger, or even like sadness, depression, loneliness, even being one that plays a lot of them and stuff, which is surprising. So I want to put an idea out there that if we're able to help them out in our hand to friendship, we are able to make their lives even better, even if slightly. Yeah, and there's my slide there. Just saying that, like, to recap again, like, quickly as well, that time isn't generous to these types of people at all. It's ticking very fast, and it's a very horrible thing, to be honest. Yeah. And loneliness is a thing that will plague a lot of people forever and stuff. Either now, like, for some of my fellow Renaissance students, ages 16 to 18, attending high school and attending here to Pierce College, they may feel some loneliness back at high school or even at the college now, which is a very, very, very horrible thing for them to go through. Well, it isn't any form of punishment willingly by people. It is a form of punishment that people are forced to live by and be by. Which is a very horrible thing. Yeah. I'm sorry. Um. Yeah. Sorry. So as my time as I worked at Franklin retirement home, I was able to see more struggles that people had. I was able to essentially open myself up to more possibilities and ideas of how my co-workers and my um, fellow classmates also worked as well, and see how they would deal with these kinds of situations and with people that they've never seen much by or even recognized by a lot, which is still a very surprising thing to learn about actually, just due to these people aren't family, and yet we still try and care for them, which is a pretty cool thing, to be honest. So I really hope that I was able to get to the idea and presence of that. Even like smaller stuff like a conversation starter would be very helpful for these types of people as well. They're able to feel happy that they can share anything at all, like time, conversations, or even like sometimes big as stories and stuff, which is a very, very important thing to be able to learn about and to be able to also do as well. I'm not sure if you can see this photo here, but the young man, sorry, the 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 sir in the photo here, I believe, yeah, I think it's the guy with the white hair here. I believe his name was Donald. Yeah, Donald. I don't want to share too much about him, but he told me that there was a story about he had recently that I was able to talk to him about, and basically, long story short, he had a brother that he cared about, and people saw him as more as brothers, more as like best friends, but recently in 2021, well, sorry, yeah, in 2021, they had a huge argument, and both had a fell off. But a few days later, he got into a very bad accident, and he died. After spending like a few days in the hospital, which crushed his soul immediately and made him regret saying anything to his siblings. And so, because of that, he's always tried to pressure us, just like make sure we have a good relationship with our family now and then, which I will always take for um, moving on forward. And as I wrap up, I want to go over like the points I want to bring attention again. Volunteer hours is usually seen as a waste of time for the summer, and I can understand that, but I also want to preach the idea of that maybe using this time as well will be beneficial for more people as well. Thank you for time.